Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. It is time for a project review here of this beautiful early 67, and by early 67 I mean its production date was about mid-August as far as I can tell of 66, ruby red Beetle. So why don't we go ahead and get started. I'll bring up later why the fact that it's an early production 67 is important for the VW geeks out there who might be interested in this. But anyway, so the current owners of the car are pretty early in this car's, owner tree, so to speak. Not as far as the amount of time they've owned it, but the current owners are second or maybe third owners of the car. That's what I mean by pretty early. But that having been said, I think they've had it, well, let's see, we've had this car in our shop for just over a year, like 13 months. We like to turn around these restorations in about a year, get people their toys and, keep kind of rotating what we have in the shop here. But yeah, 13 months. So, a year plus or minus. And this is one of the few cars that we've had recently that actually was driven to the shop by the owner. So they live pretty close in Costa Mesa, which is, I don't know, 8-10 miles from here, give or take. And so the current owner drove it in and left it with us for us to do the restoration that you see on it here now. So yeah, it was a running driving car. As we started tearing into it, it was actually, like, restoration aside, it was a good thing they brought it into us because it had a bunch of leaky brakes and other problems like that might not have been safest to drive it around too much. But cosmetically, the car was in pretty good shape, having had very few accidents and been pretty complete overall. Not really much missing. Lots of really great original parts on the car, which we were able to reuse. I'll try and hit up some of the highlights of those as I work my way around the car. But why don't we go ahead and get started here then. So go ahead and pop the trunk here and work our way from front to back. So not a whole lot to see up here other than just super clean. Of course, we like to use the trunk liner made by Wolfsburg West, and likewise the wiry cover. So the covers there were not really in good shape as the car came in, but lots of little tidbits we were able to reuse, like I mentioned before. So they did have an original gas tank, original gas cap with the logo on it. And then likewise, I'm not going to pull this up, but there is a sending unit cover right there that also likewise has the VW logo and stuff on it. So yeah, some really cool and nice original parts like that we were able to reuse. You can see their original washer bottle there that cleaned up nice. It's not really hooked up to anything, but it still looks super cool. Let's see what else. Yeah, original latch, which we zinc plated. So you can see VW stamped all over it. So super cool detail there. The bumpers are replacements. The handles, I believe the handles, I used all the original ones on this car, if I recall correctly. Pretty much they all just needed to be cleaned and a little polishing with steel wool. New headlight rings, of course, because those are usually not savable. And again, this is going to be a very nice car. New covers on the front turn indicators because they were just a little bit too far gone. So the wheels and tires on this car are of course correct for a 67, the wheels and hubcaps are correct for a 67 Beetle. It's like a 2-year only. So they were still wide 5, but then in 66 they introduced these slots like you see here. And then the hubcaps were different, having had sort of I guess it's called a nipple shape. I guess you can kind of see why there. Versus the more like domed ones on earlier cars. And incidentally, these are not held in with those same little spring clips like on earlier ones. These basically snap into 3 little protrusions on the wheel, and they're kind of a pain in the ass to get on. Once they're on, I don't think you have to worry about them falling off, and Certainly there aren't those little clips to break that you have to worry about, but yeah, it's actually very hard to get those off and on. But the wheels that the car had when it came in were some like chrome Porsche 356 style wheels that just didn't really fit well with this car, since we were going to do like a stock restoration of it. So we actually got this set of 5 original wheels and 4 original hubcaps from Jason at Air Cooled Vintage Works. The wheels were in really good shape other than needing sandblasting, and then I did metal work on a bunch of the rims which had curb damage and so on them. Got those all cleaned up. The hubcaps were fairly ugly, lots of dents, lots of pitting and so on. So we took those to the chrome shop that we use, and they just did an amazing job of doing body work on them and so on, metal work before chrome plating them. So it wasn't a cheap endeavor, but the results I think speak for themselves. So nobody really makes a really nice 66, 67 Beetle hubcap. There's some very cheap, horrible looking ones that you can get for like 25 bucks a piece, and that's pretty much it. So if you want very high quality ones, you got to find an original set and then find a chrome shop willing to restore them for you. So let's take a look on the inside of the car. Actually, before we quite get there, so these are the original and correct handles for 67 Beetle. And you can see they have a little light kind of scratching. They've got a little character on them, but I thought that they were just a really great fit for this car as far as their originality is concerned. And you can't buy reproductions, to my knowledge, that have this round button on there like this. So yeah, we went ahead and used those. Likewise, the inner door handles, the door releases, and their escutcheons here, their bezels, whatever you want to call them, all original. One of the bezels I did have to replace. I found another original one from Eddie at Eddie and Dave's Garage, but the other ones are all original ones that we reused. Kind of the same story here on the inside handles. You can see if you look closely at them, there's a little, I don't know, patina for lack of a better word on them, but just in really, really nice condition. And as much as I love Wolfsburg West, the 67 reproduction handles they make just feel cheesy. They always feel like the knob is going to pop off them. So definitely better to use original ones when possible. We did put a retro sound radio in it like we like to do on a lot of cars. And it's got the microphone is mounted over here somewhere. There it is. So the owner can make and take calls from it and stream music from his iPhone or whatever. And right now it's hooked up to the to a speaker in the stock location, which is a little 3-driver, I guess, stereo speaker that comes from Retro Sound. The owner, there was a parcel tray in the car when it came, kind of a cheap, bad reproduction. So we got the nice reproductions that are made to look like the original Bamba style ones and installed that per the owner's request. The seats, of course, we did in the original style and with correct basket weave and smooth black vinyl material, and very happy with how those came out. The other cool original thing that we were able to use on this car was the original seat belts, and I had to repair the latch mechanism on one, but other than that, pretty much just a matter of cleaning them up. And then the original center hoop here where they attach, also in pretty good shape overall. A little patina on the chrome, but you know, it kind of goes with the car, I think. And then of course German square weave carpet, and then correct floor mats and stuff all the way around. The car did have exceptionally nice pop-out windows when it came in, so of course we cleaned those up and reused those. Let's come around to the back. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room here, so to speak. So a lot of people, and mostly correctly, say that 67 Beetles had a 1-year only bumper overriders, where the overriders, instead of going straight, so I'm talking about the center 2 overriders, instead of going straight like this and then coming down, they actually came down at more of an angle this whole length here, and then the end was kind of shorter, so they're more kind of like that. in general, that is correct for a 67 Beetle. However, not for this 67 Beetle. And that's why earlier I brought up the fact that this is an early car. So originally, when the 67 Beetles went into production, of course, they changed the deck lid, they flattened the bottom of it out. But initially, they kept using the same bumpers that they had used, all along, essentially. And apparently, the feedback that they started getting was that when these cars were in like little, even like minor accidents or minor sort of fender benders where the back bumper would take a little bit of a hit, that people couldn't get their deck lid open because it would start hitting the overriders. And you can see it's kind of close there, but I mean, there's plenty of space. But again, you could see where if somebody got in a little accident where the bumper got pushed in or the overriders got deformed in that way a little bit, they would probably have a hard time opening their deck lid. So Volkswagen's solution was to basically give more clearance in there by having the overriders come down more like that and give more clearance in this area here. So again, that's why I brought up the fact that this car is like a mid-August 66 production. The modified overriders, I think, was about a month later, if I recall correctly, like more like mid-September, maybe late September-ish of 66, which of course was part of the 67 production year. But anyway, that's why I wanted to bring that up. We are trying to locate a pair of original overriders. We got a couple from one of our YouTube viewers. One of them was actually in pretty good shape. The other one has a dent in it that we're not able to fix. So we are trying to hunt down another one if possible. So if anyone has a set, let me know and I can let you know if it's the one we need or if you're wanting to sell the pair or whatever. Reach out. I will probably, if I do find a pair, go ahead and have them re-chromed and probably swap them on to the car at a later date. Just because I really don't want the owner to be, and sorry guys, this is going to sound bad, I don't want the owner to be subjected to all the know-it-alls who like to stand around and point out things that are incorrect about cars, because these are actually correct for this car. But you know what, it's kind of, if it was my car, I would probably leave it like that just to piss off people and let them try and argue with me, but I don't know that I want to subject the owner to that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have a conversation with him about how he feels about it. But yes, these are correct for this car. So let me just put that to rest. Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. The motor is a stock 1500 cc. It's mostly correct. It's got a few little things that aren't, but at some point you got to kind of live with some details or spend years hunting down correct parts, and I'm pretty sure the owner didn't want to wait that long for us to find, for example, the more correct intake manifold. So the manifold that we did find, I'm guessing, is probably off a 1300 cc single port, which would have been on a 66, and where the intake manifold comes up for the carburetor would have been a little bit further on a 67. It would have been a little bit further to the right, to the left, sorry, because of course the generator got bigger, whereas a 66 still had the smaller 6-volt generator, and so that seems to be what this manifold is off based on the spacing of the neck here for the carburetor. So we had to put a spacer in there to lift it up a little bit to clear the carburetor to the generator. So not a huge deal, but it is also missing. There's supposed to be a little support bracket in here, which of course we can't use because of the spacer there. And then strictly speaking, the carburetor for this car should also have a return spring over here. The carburetor that we were able to source, which is a correct 30-1, but it didn't have provisions for the little bracket for the return spring that would go here. So yeah, a couple little issues like that, but the engine runs amazing, feels great. It actually feels very powerful for a 1500 single port. I'm pretty sure that we just rebuilt it stock, but it feels great. So anyway, yeah, but lots of other correct details. Of course, I don't want to labor the things that are wrong with it, but it does have the 67 only air cleaner. It's got the correct distributor, lots of other correct pieces all over it. So yeah, pretty great looking motor. overall. Of course, we also rebuilt the transmission, made sure it goes through all the gears properly, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, the car had very little body damage. The body was in really pretty great shape. So of course we still did complete paint and body on it. The car was ruby red, but it had been sprayed at least a few times. So it's not like we painted over an original paint job. So yeah, we went ahead and took it down to metal and gave it a nice proper paint job here in ruby red, which we matched off of an original part that did still have the original paint on it. So guys, that I think sums it up for this car. I'm very happy with how it came out and the fact that we were able to get it to the owner in about a year, just over a year, like 13 months. Pretty happy with that. And again, he is supposed to come and pick it up tomorrow, so this will probably be the last time you'll see it. I'm sure it'll be by for a tune-up and stuff at some point, but generally speaking, it will be gone as of tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.